Hi everybody, welcome back to Yoga with Carlyn. Today's class is everything but the Savasana. Yes, inspired by everything but the bagel. Shout out Trader Joe's. We're going to be doing a little bit of everything in this class, minus the rest that we typically do at the end in Shavasana. Some people love Shavasana, some people love those more restorative postures, but there are days when we really just need something to get us moving. Maybe we take a shorter yoga practice before another type of workout, or maybe we just want something a little bit more energizing and not so slow. So this class is going to be mostly standing, a little bit of seated at the end. Like I said, we'll do a little bit of everything: forward folds, twists, little tiny bit of back bending, standing poses, seated postures in a really short period of time. You don't need any blocks, props, anything like that. All you need is yourself and your mat. And when you're ready, we are going to get started in a ragdoll. So at the top of your mat, make sure your feet are hips width distance apart, and then we're just gonna fold forward, bending the knees a lot, grabbing onto opposite elbows. It's really important to keep that strong in your knees, especially if you're practicing early in the day, allowing them to wake up. And really tuck your chin to your chest. Let go of tension in the upper back and the neck. Maybe you take some rock side to side, gentle sway. And then when you're ready, we're going to take this into a variation of cat-cow. So you can watch me first. I'm going to let the fingertips reach down to the ground. I'm going to start to straighten through the legs as I take my hands all the way up to my knees. And then I'm going to gently bend the back, look up, spread the shoulders apart and away from my ears. And then as I exhale, I'm going to round through the spine and come back towards that ragdoll pose with my hands down on the ground if it's accessible. So inhale, straighten the legs, let the hands slide up to the knees, take that little back bend, look up. And on your exhale, bend everything back down. Do that a couple more times, moving with your own breath. One more full round here. You might pause, take another second or so, extra breath in whatever place really feels good, some opening, some energy. And then once you're back down in that forward fold, you'll tuck the chin to the chest and slowly roll up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Let your head be the last thing to come up. And from here, we're going to do a little bit of breath work. So take one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. We're going to take our Kapalabhati breath. So for this type of breath, we take short passive inhales and really forceful exhales. So it looks and sounds like this. You'll really feel the belly pumping with breath. The purpose of this breath is to bring energy into the body. So we're going to do 2 rounds of this breath. Again, you're breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, and your exhales are super forceful. You really feel that movement of the belly. Our first round will be about 15 seconds and our second will be about 30 seconds. Let's start by taking a cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And round one, let's begin. Short inhale. Three, two, one. Take an inhale. Cleansing breath out the mouth. I'll stop a couple seconds earlier than you to count you down. Let's get ready for round two. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Begin short inhale. Three, two, one. Inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Bring the hands down to the side. Find your mountain pose. Take a deep breath in. Reach the fingertips up to the sky. Maybe you find a little bit of a back bend here. And then exhale, hinge and fold forward slowly, taking the hands down to the mat about shoulder width distance apart. And we're just gonna step right back to our downward facing dog. Immediately finding some movement in this down dog, maybe lifting the heels off the ground and then sending them back down, maybe bending through one knee at a time, whatever movement feels good here. Just a little bit more movement here, and then we'll come into some spinal waves. So for these spinal waves, you'll start in your downward facing dog. You'll gently, slowly roll forward towards a high plank. Come on to the tops of the feet. Find your upward facing dog. And then slowly take it back to your downward facing dog. Let's do that 2 more times, nice and slow. Ripple forward. Come on to the tops of the feet. Drop the belly. Chest is proud. And then take it back through your high plank and into your downward facing dog. Do this however it feels good. It doesn't have to look like mine looks like. These are kind of like a faster, not necessarily faster, but abbreviated version of our sun salutations. Made it back into your downward facing dog. Bring the big toes to touch. Take an inhale and lift the right leg up to the sky. And then from here, slowly take that right knee in towards the nose and step the right foot next to or behind the right thumb. Turn the left foot down at a 45-degree angle and come into your warrior one. Hold for 3 breaths. Last one here, relax the shoulders. Open up warrior two. Back foot comes parallel to the back edge of the mat. Widen your stance. Gaze. 2 more breaths. And flip your front palm, reverse your warrior. That right forearm to the right thigh, find your side angle pose. Again, 3 breaths per pose. Just a transition, reverse your warrior one more time, this time straightening through the front leg. And then go ahead and bring the arms to a T. Turn both of the toes to face the long edge of the mat. The toes will face slightly in and the heels will face slightly out. And from here, we'll find our forward fold. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Make the chest nice and proud. Inhale here. And then exhale, start to hinge forward. Maybe you keep those interlaced hands towards the seat. Maybe they gradually start to come up and over the head. Try and keep the heels of the hands together. Feel that opening in the upper arm and the shoulders. We'll stay here for a little bit longer. 5 breaths. 4. 3. 2. Last one here. And then all in one inhale, we'll press down into the feet and take this all the way back up into our standing posture. Find a warrior 2 just for a breath, and then cartwheel the hands, and we'll take it right back to our downward facing dog. Maybe you find one of those spinal waves in between sides, gently, slowly rippling forward, really taking your time to feel every vertebrae of the spine move, coming onto the tops of the feet for your upward facing dog, and then making your way back to your downward facing dog. And from here, bring the big toes to touch. Take an inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, gently pull that left knee in towards the nose and take the left foot towards the left thumb. Right foot comes down to a 45 angle, and we rise into our warrior 1. Breaths. Relax the shoulders. Last breath here. Open it up for a warrior 2. Widen your stance. Gaze over that left middle finger. From here, reverse your warrior. Flip the front palm. And then when you're ready, left forearm to left thigh, right fingertips up and over the head for your side angle. And let's reverse the warrior one more time just to transition, this time straightening through the front leg as we reverse that warrior. And then taking it to that wide-legged stance, facing the toes in, the heels out. This time, inhale, reach up. And as you exhale, hinge forward. Bring the hands all the way down to the ground. You can widen your stance a little bit here if that makes it easier for the hands to reach the ground. We're going to take some side lunges. So bending into that right knee, straightening the left leg. Feel that right hip and that left inner thigh open. And then take it to the other side. Left foot bends, right leg straightens. Keep moving, holding or moving a little bit more fluidly, whatever works for you. And then when you're ready, straighten both legs. Come back into that forward fold. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, come up halfway, find a flat back. And exhale, come all the way up to standing warrior 2 for just a breath. And then cartwheel the hands and step it back to your downward facing dog. And as we move into our next posture, And from here, we'll set up for pigeon pose. So inhale, reach the right leg up to the sky. Bend that right knee, open the hip. Draw some little circles here with the knee or the ankle. And then take them in the opposite direction. And then from here, bring that right knee all the way towards the right wrist and find your pigeon pose. Take a moment here, come upright. Make sure that left leg is nice and long behind you. And then slowly melt down into your resting pigeon pose. About 5 to 7 breaths here. Take your last deep breath here. And as you're ready, gently start to come up, back in your upright pigeon pose. Start to take the weight all the way into your right hip, and then take that left leg to the top left corner of the mat, finding our Janu Shirshasana, seated tree pose, forward fold. That right foot is to the inner left thigh, and the torso is square over the left leg. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, fold forward. Take 3 deep breaths here. From here, come back to that upright position. Gently cross that left leg underneath the right. Plant your hands and step right back to your downward facing dog. And then we'll take that to the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Bend that left knee, gently opening the hip, drawing some little circles with the knee or with the ankle. Taking those in the opposite direction. And then setting up for your pigeon pose, left knee to left wrist. Again, take a moment upright. Make sure that right leg is nice and long behind you. And when you're ready, come down into your resting pigeon pose. When you're ready, come upright again in your pigeon pose, and then take your weight into your left leg and take that right leg to the top right corner of the mat for your Janu Shirshasana. Left foot to the inside of the right thigh, torso squares over the right leg, up, and exhale, fold forward for 3 breaths. I do realize that I did lie to you. I said we would not be lying down in class, and we were definitely just lying down in pigeon pose. But I don't regret that lie, because I think every yoga class needs a pigeon pose, but that's just me. But no more lying down. Last breath here. And then come upright. And with that, we have everything but the Shavasana. So hopefully that was a little bit of everything for you, little pieces of the yoga practice in an abbreviated amount of time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and share, and follow me on Instagram at Calm with Carlyn. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.